Welcome to Aggrecycle's Urban Quarry, where we've supplied a T-Scrub 1100 wash plant and water treatment facility to help process construction and demolition waste. Today we're going to give you a guided tour of Aggrecycle's new wash plant. The material being fed on up the main feed conveyor up to 100 tonnes per hour. Also on the main feed conveyor with an electromagnet to remove any steel. The main feed is coming onto the screen. One of the difficulties we have with having such a vast amount of spray bars is overspray. So something we've incorporated is covering to reduce the overspray to keep the plant nice and clean and tidy. The main job of the pre-screen is to take out as much silt and sand as possible. As you can see, we've got lots of spray bars taking and removing that material. So we've got stone going into the log wash to be scrubbed. A big positive to Tyrone's wash plants is access for maintenance. We have access to the rear of the screens through gates. We also access to the front of the screen. We also have a drop-down walkway to make it as safe as possible for the engineers to get on to carry out maintenance. All the spray bars are on a hydraulic lift, so we have a power pack here again to make it as easy as possible and as safe as possible for engineers to gain access to carry out maintenance. Here we are on the T-Scrub 1100, again with a huge emphasis on maintenance and ease of access. Straight, simple, hinged access to the bearings at the rear. And as we go on, simple visual access, safe, so we can look in, see what the machine's doing, check for any potential issues. From the log wash, after the stone's been scrubbed, we come onto the sizing screen. As you can see, the material goes over. It's a double deck sizing screen, making a 40mm, a 20mm and a 10mm. A brilliant feature on our sizing screens, we have a split sump, so we can actually rinse out any final bits of fines to recover those to go over to the sand plant. Here we are at the T-Sand 125 double wash, where we're producing a fine sand and a coarse sand through the twin wash hydrocyclone system. After all the stone and sand has been removed, we're left with silt in the water. The silty water makes its way back to this trash screen first, where we'll take off any final floatables, polystyrene and organics that may have made their way over here. All the water that's making its way back is now being dosed with a chemical, a flocculant. The flocculant grabs hold of the solids within the water to pull them down, where they'll drop in to the thickener tank here. As the rake's rotating within the thickener tank, the material at the bottom gets to a certain density, which is done at commissioning stage. The clean water then wears over, where that water is then recycled to be used again on the wash plant to wash the material. To ensure that the water is as clean as possible, going back into the clarified tank to then go on to wash the stone, we also incorporate a surface scraper system that any fibres that do manage to make their way through the single 1mm mesh on the screen is removed here, where we have a patented pump system to put back onto the screen to ensure the water is as clean as possible. Here in the control room, very straightforward HMI screen where everything is controlled on the wash plant. You can see everything on here from the tonnes per hour, the water pressure, the water flow, and lots of the amp readouts to all the motors within the wash plant, so we can stay on top of any potential issues that might come arise. We also have an alarm system, so everything is logged, so we can go back and see if there's been any issues previously. As I explained before, where the water comes out the back of the trash screen and a flocculant's added, down here is an analyzer that's analysing the water every 60 seconds. What this is doing is speeding up and slowing down the flocculant pump to create a consistent settling rate of the silt within the water, so we have a consistent sludge going up into the filter press. From the thickener tank, the sludge is transferred into the holding tank, where we have two agitators running to make sure no more settling happens before it makes its way into the filter press. Another huge feature of the filter press here is 360-degree access to aid in all maintenance, with stairs going up to access the robot and the trolley and the top of the plates, with a trolley underneath to gain access for any maintenance that might be needed on the plates themselves. As you can see here, the trolley will move along to wherever it's needed to gain access into the filter press. Stairs here to gain access onto the robot and the top of the filter press to make sure maintenance is as simple as possible. Another huge benefit of the fully automated filter press, it will actually go in at set intervals to wash itself. Once the wash is complete, it will then close back up and go back into its press cycles. As with the wash plant, a very simple HMI screen where we can fully control everything on the filter press, whether it be an automatic and we can watch exactly what it's doing, or during any maintenance where we can put it into manual and operate every aspect of the filter press from the screen. In here, the service room, we've got the press feed pump, we've got the flocculant tanks, with the water pumps to produce the clean water, to do the washing on the filter press, and the compressors to control all the pneumatic valves all over the plant. Here we are at the end of the process with the bays filled with the clean, recycled process materials. In bay 1, with the fine sand, bay 2, with the coarse sand, bay 3, with the 40mm aggregate, bay 4, with the 20mm aggregate, and finally with a 10mm washed aggregate.